Damon Baird, survivor of the Kilo Squad. With the impending release of Gears Tactics, we must learn more of Saren history. And what better way to learn of that history than from those who have survived it? From Damon Baird, survivor of the Kilo Squad. Welcome back to the Kilo Squad Survival Journal, the field notes of Damon Baird. Today's episode will see some heavy stuff as we encounter Baird's first true battle findings. He begins with a letter to his mother and father, per normal. Hi, Mom and Dad. I guess I understand a little better how things must have looked from your eyes. Staring down an e-hole as it opens has to be one of the most objectively terrifying experiences any human can have. We go through life expecting the ground around us to be solid in a sort of incontrovertible way. Only the actions of enormously powerful entities can change the Saren surface, things like earthquakes and tidal waves. Giant bombs create teeny divots. Topography is a near constant in our everyday lives. I'd seen the gaps left behind by e-holes on the news, but watching one open below me even as I hovered above, strapped to my Raven's seat, was a real pants pisser. Part of me was thinking about staying alive, but another part of me couldn't help but imagine what it must have been like for the two of you to see one of these tunnels rise up into your home and swallow everything around you. And once that little slice of awful is over, out pour the locust, gray and scaly. You'd think they'd be lumbering around panting to raise their rifles to chest height. Boy, would you be wrong. We're rookies, and we acted like it. As soon as we jumped off the Raven, we lost all sense of operational or tactical awareness. Granted, everything around us was either on fire, getting sucked back into the ground, or shooting at us. One e-hole ran into the next. They don't all pour through one like bullets out of a rifle. They disperse themselves like buckshot out of a shell, but tactically like they already know what's above them, which has to be impossible, or else we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. You see, he's even added a few notes on a drawing of what an e-hole appeared below him that had what seemed to be a standard drone, a wretch, and most terrifyingly of all, a berserker there at the front. No sign of drilling. They must be just digging from below. Concrete is not strong enough to stop them, and it's wide enough for multiple grubs to exit at once. As we turn the page, he's actually included the blueprints to a King Raven helicopter, a Gears best transport. It keeps them safely above the ground. It has those turrets. Let's take a look at some of the notes. King Raven, the indispensable backbone of the COG Air Corps. The King Raven is a multi-purpose air transport and assault aircraft used to transport soldiers in and out of battle. It can carry up to 12 personnel. King Ravens also provide close air support to soldiers on the ground. The troop bay, no doors, seats up to 5 gears. Additional soldiers can use the handholds in the cabin. Armaments. 2 side-mounted chain guns provide point defense and air support, can be replaced by grenade launchers to target units with heavier armor. The contra-rotating main rotor. 2 rotors are mounted on top of each other, turning in opposite directions. The equal and opposite torques from the rotors cancel each other out and provide stability. Windows. No visible cockpit windows. Pilots use cameras and monitors to pilot the aircraft. Wheels. Equipped with retractable mid-mounted wheels for safe landings and takeoffs. The first King Raven took flight in 17 BE. That is before emergence days for those of you not in the know. And was used by the COG army on the Kashgar front during the Pendulum Wars. The King Raven, its crew, and its operations are commanded by the crew chief. The King Raven pilot and co-pilot are responsible for the movement of the helicopter as well as communications and navigation. Chain guns mounted on either side of the craft are manned by 2 gunners. We see some of Baird's notes here, that he hopes the locusts don't learn how to jump. They look safe enough, right? And definitely easier than shooting from a plane. The King Raven is a magnificent invention, and it is the predecessor to the Kestrel we have all come to know in Gears 4 and 5. He continues his letter. The highlight of the day was learning that I can do this, that this is an option, fighting. At least I'm not ready to throw down my weapon and let them take me back into their hidey holes. That was a plus. Working against that was everything else I saw, felt, heard, and smelled. Back in the good column was watching Cole. The guy's got as much go juice on this field as he ever had in a thrash ball arena. He ran into the fray like he had his eyes closed, like he was born blind, like he didn't have to be afraid of a goddamn thing. Sign me up for season tickets because I went in right after him. Of the dozens of gears deployed, I didn't see a heart as big as the one Cole brought with him. Saving his bacon was a privilege, and I have every reason to believe it'll pay itself back over time in multiples. It felt good to fight. A month of training had started to feel like a month in prison, secluded from the reality I knew was going on around me. The news reports get it all wrong. The grubs are bigger and meaner than I thought. They must have been post-processing the footage somehow. As the cameras haven't been adding an ounce, it's probably for the best, given that the COG is still looking to enlist more soldiers. My enlistment specified a 2-year tour. That's fine. I'm not planning on retiring once I'm out. Like that would have been an option anyway. The grubs took everything I had. If this is the life I have to lead, I'm going to do all I can to make it work by my rules. Signed, Damon. He has etched on the next page a picture of one of the gears that he fought with, holding his Lancer Mark II, now adorned with the chainsaw at the end rather than that bayonet. He notates below his letter to his parents something that I think we all can learn a valuable lesson from. A Lancer is a gear's best friend. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. We see on the next page a doodling of him and Cole manning the front lines after having jumped for their Raven. He would go and have Cole's back because Cole so many times before and in the future would have his. The two would become inseparable. They would become brothers to the end. And that concludes today's episode of the Kilo Squad Survival Journal, the field notes of Damon Baird. I truly hope you enjoyed today's episode. Tomorrow, we are going to dive into Halvo Bay, one of the most hallowed grounds in all of Sarah. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like, a comment, maybe even subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I will get back to each and every one of you as fast as I can. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. This has been Colin the Crow Clark. Goodbye.